It's a rematch of one of the great NFL playoff games of all time. The Chargers and Dolphins underway from Miami. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Only needed 1 yard. He said, I'll get you more than that.
Yeah, yard, piece of cake, right? And if you're a defender, seeing the back of the jersey and being able to read his name, not a good thing. That means you're in chase mode. That didn't go well for them on that snap.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Dolphins at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
Almost feel sorry for the kicker here because you know he wants to go out there and contribute, but they keep saying stay on the bench. I think it's just simply a matter of a head coach saying, I believe more in my guys with the football than sending you out there to kick.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. You talk about this Miami defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number one in the NFL against the pass.
And this is one of those something's got to give games. You got the number one passing team in the NFL against the number one defense against the pass. A lot of times, the battle's in the trenches. We know that. We see it all the time. But this one, this game's going to be won on the outside.
Got a man right side. It's Sharp. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Off play action. Messina. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
When this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
This defense for the Dolphins, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
Out of the gun, Herbert. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. Open man is Marvin Harrison Jr. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Herbert finds Gibbs on the check down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. But at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Herbert now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There's pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And no move to get Herbert off the field. They're going for this. Here we go on 4th. Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Forced out to his left. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him up already in this opening half.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, They almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second and a couple. Looking to throw. Messina. Screenplay set up for Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down. And his kick is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got his target. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He's got a first down. That's his first catch. Remember, he's the NFL leader in that category at the midway point. Back to throw here, Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. Big strides, look at him go. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. 59 yards. And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit. Jake Moody now for the point after. And it's 17-7. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they sequence things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Messina dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. Down the right sideline, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. 55 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Herbert off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it but couldn't pull it in.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now Herbert going to shift his guys around. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Herbert back to the air. Open man down the field. This is Mitchell. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Here's Herbert. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And he'll go right back to Allen. That's complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw, eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback because that was awfully close.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
And this one is right through, and that will close the gap down to 14. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he's got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Messina. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Still going inside the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Moody good with the extra point. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Complete. This is Mitchell. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah,
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to stay in the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
On Herbert, his third interception. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Tough when they are first drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
Throwing after the interception, Messina buying time to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 31-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. Operating from the gun, Messina.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now it's Herbert. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 more on that one and another first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Down the left sideline. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And with a well-placed kickoff, that's what these new rules can do for you, as he'll be backed up to start this drive. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They send Sharp in motion right. Out of the gun, Herbert. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the gun, Herbert on third down. And he is caught. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5. Again, Herbert. He's got Allen. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. Here's Herbert. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 42. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Herbert now. He finds his target, Allen. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 34.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. Gibbs will get down close to the goal line, but not in. And as he'll be marked down at the 1. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Gibbs again, but he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
And now down 3 scores. I don't think there's any decision at all. You've got to go for it because you don't know how many more times you're going to get an opportunity. Field goals, they're not going to cut it in this situation.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They snap it to Herbert. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. They can't hook up on 4th and goal from the 4. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they hope to polish things off, and what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak. And that won't buy them much room, just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Herbert escaping the pressure right. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And no, they can't connect on the pass. So that gets the clock down to 11. Time for probably 2 more plays. Got to go quickly, though. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. And the Dolphins come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points in the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Miami, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the